Good morning. Coming to you today about a really good video. This is Camille, owner and recruiter at Rig on Wheels, your recruiter for life. Okay. So it's not just if I get you hired on at one company, when you decide you need to go somewhere else, I am your recruiter. But today, what we're going to talk about is drugs. Drugs. So we know it's an epidemic in the country, but more importantly, it is one in our industry. Okay, we need to first and foremost say no to drugs. Just like the commercials back in the day when we were kids, say no to drugs. Okay, think that slogan, say no. Now I want to break that down and what that means. Okay, first let's talk about taking pills or drinks that were not prescribed to you. Okay, it sounds real simple. Oh, I got a cold, I got this cough, my throat, I feel like I'm just about to be the end of the world, and my wife, my old lady, my whatever had some prescription cough medicine from the doctor. Don't do it. I got this toothache so bad, Camille. These are things I hear. I had this toothache so bad, and the Tylenol or the ibuprofen or whatever, over the counter painkillers was not working. So my mama had some Tylenol 3, or don't do it. By doing that, that is taking an illegal substance. What makes it illegal is because it was not prescribed to you. If it is prescribed to you, then of course you can take it. The doctor mandates, or the doctor prescribes it to you, okay? That way, not if, but when you get drug tested, you have your proof that I was supposed to be taking this, okay? So, and then your regular say no to drugs is don't sniff, inject, smoke, puff, anything that you can think of. We're not doing that. Okay, leave that behind, that lifestyle that you may have had, if you want to do it. Well, Camille, it's legal in most states and blah, blah, blah. I hear all of that. That might be fine. I'm not going to get into anything like that. This career may not be for you. We have to decide what we want and what we don't want. Okay? So we know about the Federal Drug Clearinghouse. Okay? And so what that helps is for companies and drivers, and it's up to the minute on details of things for the driver as far as drug and alcohol. Okay? It can make things faster when it comes to orientation, and it gives the companies better resources. It's a database that basically is going to help out. That's what it's meant for. However, if you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing, it will hurt you. Okay? It started back at the end of 2019, but it was mandated in January 2020, where all of the companies and the drivers have to register on this clearinghouse. Okay, now we're a year later and we're in 2021. A lot of the hiccups and things that were going on with the site, we're not going to really see that as much now as it's been a year. Okay, so it will house your information when it comes to failed drug tests. Doesn't matter how far back, things like that. It's all in the system. Some companies have put things in there further back than it mandates. They want to get ahead of the game, and other companies are just going as far back as what they're told to do on the clearinghouse. Okay, so let's talk about the different drug tests. Okay, so you have urine test, and then you have your hair test. Your urine test, you have companies that might be doing 4, 5, 10 panels. Okay, what that means are the different drugs that they're looking into. I can tell you just as you know already, the biggest drug use is going to be marijuana, cocaine, meth, and your opiates. Okay? So, but they are testing for several different drugs. So it just kind of depends on the company and your DOT regulation. Okay? Now, urine, they're testing for recent use, like within the last 2 to 5 days. So let's say the last week type use. But you know, different drugs stay in your system for longer. Okay? But just think, the urine test is talking about a more immediate use, something recent. Your hair test is for frequent use, and it goes back a full 90 days. Now, a lot of you all have spoken to me, some that have not spoken to me on the phone. Or you see my questionnaires when sometimes you, on some of the job boards, and I say, can you pass a hair drug test going back? And I always take it back to 120 days. Okay? That's what I take it back to. So now I would say, if I'm on the phone with you, one of my first questions, because it allows me to know what companies I can submit you to. Can you pass a hair drug test going back to Labor Day? That's what I say. I don't even want us to have to think and count back 120 days or something like that. I say 4 months. They say 90 days. I say 4 months because I don't want any room for error. You know what I mean? If I can control it, I'm a Virgo. Just know that. So if I can control it, that's what I'm going to do, because I want to be your recruiter for life. And in order for me to do that, it's not just putting you with this company. It's once things change and you want to get on another account or whatever it is, I want the opportunity to be able to put you somewhere else. If you decide you want to start doing owner operator, I want to be able to do that for you. So that's my first question. Okay? Is that. And if you, a question is all the time, if I fail my drug test, if I fail my DOT drug test, then what? Can I get another job? Well, the first thing they're going to do is require you to go through a SAP program. Okay? That's your substance and alcohol program, in order to get you back into the workforce. Now, that's going to be more complicated, getting back into the workforce. You have the clearinghouse that is even for smaller companies that may not have had the resources to be able to find out all about your drug failures and stuff like that. Well, now you have this clearinghouse that does allow even smaller companies to have more resources right there at their fingertips. Okay? So each company is different. Majority of the companies that I deal with is going to be a no. If you failed a drug test, it's typically going to be no. They might have some, I do have a couple that say after a certain amount of years, but just in general, it's going to be no. Same thing with refusals. You cannot refuse, you should not. I'm not going to tell you what you cannot do. You're an adult. You should not do a refusal. Okay? That is looked with the major companies as the same thing. Because if there's nothing in your system, there typically shouldn't be a reason, typically, that you don't want to go ahead and do your drug test. So that's the reason why I ask those questions, because I don't want you to waste your time and mine. So I don't want it to be where you fail a test. I don't want that. I would rather you be put in with a company that doesn't do hair tests, or I would rather telling you, okay, you inhaled or whatever in October, right? So I'll say, well, let's talk back around Valentine's Day. Give me a call back once you're clean, and we can go from there. Because you can be and have the cleanest driving record, but if you fail a drug test, now we got a big issue. Okay? Your recruiter for life, which is me, Camille, wants you to stay in this career for as long as you decide and you want to retire. I don't want your drug use, whether it be illegal drugs or it be that you drank something or took somebody's prescription or an old prescription of yours. Okay? I don't want that to be the reason why you have to retire from this industry. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. My telephone number you can call and or text me is 708-487-9064. 708-487-9064. Again, just like, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful, safe day.